Welcome to the Root Cause Revolution podcast with functional and integrative nurse nutritionist and energy medicine practitioner, Audrey Christie.
Hey there, and welcome, friends, to episode 221 of the Root Cause Revolution podcast. I'm your host, Audrey, and I am so excited to be talking with you today. Today's topic is your liver, and specifically how to take care of it. I'm going to give you some tips, I think 15, maybe 16 tips on how to take care of your liver. And you might be thinking, well, Audrey, why is this important? Well, if you've been hanging around long, you know that drainage and energy are the first phases in healing your body, no matter what it is, no matter if you're simply trying to lose a few pounds, no matter if you just got some random inflammation, no matter if you have a full-fledged, fully diagnosed and medicated autoimmune disease or chronic illness. Making sure your drainage pathways are open and moving is the first step in any healing journey. Now, that can look a little bit different for different people, right? Because we're all bio-individual. But if you're having any of the signs of trouble with your energy and drainage, like less than 2 bowel movements per day, if you're having brain fog and anxiety, if you're having chronic fatigue, if you're having hormone imbalances, so estrogen dominance, which commonly shows up in women, if you're having PMS, if you're having PCOS, if you're having unusual food sensitivities, if you're unable to lose weight, then these are all signs, and there are many, many more signs, but these are all signs that your drainage pathways are not flowing. And if you don't open those drainage pathways up, you can't make progress, right? You can't make progress at all. In fact, I have a class on Drainage and Energy 101, and you get a video class detailing exactly what to do, step-by-step instructions, and then live access to ask me questions, of course, if you get stuck. I'll put that link on the show notes page at audreychristie.com/221, and you can grab it. It's all the information for less than the cost of a copay, so just $25 gets you that class. So I'll pin that on the show notes page at audreychristie.com/221. But let's talk about some things. Your liver, by the way, is part of your drainage pathway, and we're going to talk about some things that you can do to help make sure that your liver is functioning properly. Now, if you've ever heard of the drainage funnel is exactly what it says, shaped like a regular funnel, or what I would consider an upside down triangle. At the top of that are your cells. And when we're talking about energy and drainage, we're talking about the energy portion is the mitochondria, the energy powerhouses in your cells. Then below that are your organs and tissues. Below that is your lymphatic system. Below that is your liver and bile ducts. And below that, at the base of the funnel, is your colon, which is also, interestingly, the base of the funnel in your body, like physically as well as figuratively in this example. So once you have those bowels moving twice a day, the next step is your liver. The cool thing is that you can use the liver information that I'm going to give you today to also aid in the bowel movements, right? And then once you get that going, you start working on your lymphatic system, because just like a regular funnel, if you were trying to funnel something into a smaller container, if the bottom of that funnel is blocked or any layer of that funnel is blocked, then none of the funnel is working, right? You can't pass things through it. All right, so let's dive into these tips. The first tip is to skip the late night snacks. And you've heard me say before in previous podcasts that you want to not eat 3 to 4 hours before bed, right? Because of blood sugar issues. Well, it's also because the liver's regenerative cycle happens between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. So if your body is instead digesting your late night snack at this time, it actually disrupts your sleep and disrupts that detoxification progress, right? So aim for a bedtime of around like 9-10 p.m. and have 10 to 12 hours between dinner the night before and breakfast the next morning. Now, there can be some nuances here. If you have blood sugar issues and blood sugar balance, then something really, really small and easily digestible at bedtime could be used there to support blood sugar imbalance. Okay, so number 1, skip the late night snacks. Number 2, say goodbye to bad fats. Okay, now there are good fats, right? Good fat is really good, but bad fats are really, really bad. If a food is fried, it likely has those really yucky, unhealthy, oxidized oils in it. Same goes for if a food is in a package. You want to skip those things. It's those rancid, oxidized oils. So you really want to stick to good, clean fats like coconut oil and avocados and avocado oil and salmon and olive oil. And those will help treat your liver right, particularly for people, and it seems like I've had a run of people lately with fatty liver disease. Or borderline fatty liver disease. So swapping out some of that red meat or all of that red meat for salmon, for example, or another nice good fat fish, swapping out those fried foods for whole clean fats will start to help you head in the right direction. I've heard people recommending the keto diet for people with fatty liver disease, and that is absolutely the wrong direction to go. So if you've been recommended that, then please, please, please don't do that. Okay. All right. Number 3, I believe we're on, is to go green. Your liver really, really loves leafy greens, right? Especially herbs like cilantro, dandelion, mustard greens or a bitter green, arugula, cilantro, if I didn't say that already, parsley. If you can add those to your soups, your salads, your smoothies, then you will be giving your liver the support it needs and the nutrients it needs to process through all of those toxins. And speaking of toxins, the next tip is to become, as they say, a toxin avenger, right? You can make, we just saw the most recent Avengers movie this past weekend. And so that's why Avengers are top of mind, but make it easy on your liver by reducing the toxins that are coming into your body. And you can do this by drinking filtered water, using glass containers instead of plastic for food storage, and particularly to reheat food, choosing less toxic skincare products. If you need some recommendations there, I can give you some recommendations both for skincare and makeup. And then, of course, buying organic produce and organic foods. And I'll say organic foods, meaning you don't have to buy organic potato chips. That's not really doing you any favors, but making sure that you're using grass-fed, free-range meats, and that your produce is organically grown. Okay. And then speaking of produce, right, they just kind of fall on top of each other. You want to make sure you are getting plenty of fiber for your liver, plenty of fiber. So that's our next tip. Foods that are rich in soluble fiber help to support your liver because they bind toxins and help to move them out. So you can do this by having plenty of fruits and vegetables and beans. And you can also do this by adding things like chia and flax to your already fiber-fueled day. And this helps to flush toxins every single time you eat them. All right. The next tip is to use lemon zest. Lemon zest or even lime zest has a phytonutrient called D-limonene, and that helps to support liver detoxification enzymes. You can also get this in a concentrated version in lemon essential oil. And in fact, it's one of the reasons why people recommend that you drink lemon essential oil or put it in your water. That is something I wholeheartedly do not recommend. Do not ever, ever, ever drink your essential oils, but you can, however, take that lemon essential oil and rub it in over the liver. That's actually far, far more effective and is a less of a waste of your oils. For lemon oil or citrus oils in particular, I recommend using only organic oils. And unfortunately, some of those oils out there like Young Living and doTERRA are not organic, but you can use Plant Therapy's organic lemon oil. And the reason being, some essential oils don't have to be organic. They're naturally organic because herbs don't generally draw a lot of pests. That is not true for citrus fruits. So you want to make sure that they are actually, well, you don't want to make sure they are, but citrus fruits are actually heavily sprayed with pesticides. And so you want to make sure that you're using organic oil because lemon essential oil comes from the peel, which is heavily sprayed with pesticides, right? So you want to either use organic lemons or use some organic essential oil. The lemons, you can add zest to your morning smoothie. You can add zest to your salad. Or like I said, you can take that lemon essential oil and rub it over the liver points with a little carrier oil, and that will do the same trick. Another important tip is to eat plenty of cruciferous vegetables. When you eat cruciferous vegetables, you're supporting something called the sulfation pathway, which is extremely important for liver detoxification, particularly if you have excess estrogen. You likely do, right? You want to use cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, and bok choy. These are things that you should be eating plenty of and not withholding. The next tip is to get the right amount of protein. Protein is so often, in fact, this happened to me recently. I did a nutrition contest through my CrossFit gym. Love CrossFit. The nutrition contest was put on through someone who had a nutrition certificate. Awesome. Great person. They had what I would consider, you have different levels of knowledge, right? They had what I would consider the outside of the onion knowledge of nutrition, basically just calories and macros. And so this protein, this nutrition challenge had extremely high levels of protein, which we know are really, really good for building muscle, but really, really bad for longevity, right? It's really, really bad because excess protein puts a very big strain on your liver. And so you want to make sure that you have that kind of perfect amount of protein, because too little, you start to get brittle nails. You start to get thinning hair, all muscle wasting, all of these things happen. But too much protein, the same thing happens. You get excess levels of estrogen because your liver can't detox, and then your hair falls out and your nails get bad too, right? So it's kind of it's a really difficult balance. People will say that you need to have, 170 grams of protein in a day. You do not, unless you are trying to do bodybuilding and you're also using diuretics and all this other stuff for like competition. That's not feasible. It's also not feasible for women who are over 35, right? It's like I said, that's the outside of the onion type of knowledge, right? Rather than creating health, you are temporarily adjusting the body, but not creating long-term health. Okay, so make sure you're getting the right levels of protein. And guys, if you have a question, just reach out and I can help you determine what your correct level of protein is. Okay, what's next? Some of these are going to be a little bit more lifestyle involved. So we're going to get through the nutrition ones, and then I'm going to add on a couple of lifestyle changes that will also help you to reduce the toxins in your liver and to really champion your liver health, which, by the way, is critical. So another one is beets. And I almost hesitate to put beets on this list because even though they are amazing, their active ingredient is betaine, which helps the liver cells clear toxins. It helps to protect the liver. It helps to protect the bile ducts. I really hate the taste of beets and cannot force myself to eat them, period, right? It doesn't matter. I've tried them raw, roasted, or juiced. I don't like them. But if you do, then you really just can't beat them. They are amazing and beneficial and healing for your body. The next one is chlorophyll. So chlorophyll, you can find that in most green juices. You want to make sure your green juice has organic ingredients and all that good stuff, but chlorophyll helps to clear toxins from the body, especially heavy metals. So our heavy metal people are having symptoms like high blood pressure. They're having symptoms like random inflammation. There's all sorts. Go back and listen to the heavy metals episode. If you're in the Root Cause Revolution membership, you have an entire masterclass on heavy metals. Chlorophyll, helps you with that. So you can get chlorophyll from your greens like chlorella, spirulina, leafy greens, seaweed, and matcha green tea, which is also really amazing for you. Choline is another good one, which I just confused with chlorophyll there, but choline is another good one. It's an essential and exceptional micronutrient, and it helps to transport fats from the liver, or triglycerides from the liver. It's really, really important for normal metabolism, but we don't get near enough of it. So you can get that from eggs, making sure your eggs are pasture raised, and that they're not fed vegetarian diets and they're not fed soy or GMO. You can also get it from avocados if you are sensitive to eggs. Eggs are one of the top food sensitivities. B vitamins is another one. I think we're on number 12 now with B vitamins. B vitamins are critical for efficient liver detoxification. And most people are walking around with low levels of stomach acid, particularly if you've been on antacids or PPI inhibitors, anything for indigestion for any period of time. You are walking around with low stomach acid and low B vitamins. So if you get enough B vitamins, then you can have efficient liver detoxification, and it helps with heavy metals. It helps with histamine, so allergy problems there, friends. It can also help with bacterial toxins like SIBO. And it is often at the root of many, many, many immune and neurological challenges. So it's really important, especially when you are working on liver health, or if you've had any of the things that I'm talking about, to be taking a really high quality B complex every day. And you want to make sure those are the methylated Bs, because a lot of people are unable to break down the other kind. All right. I think the last food one I have is turmeric. So turmeric or curcumin, curcumin is the active bioflavonoid in turmeric, and it's been used by herbalists and Ayurvedic physicians for thousands and thousands of years. It's used to protect the liver, to promote bile flow. It is a powerful anti-inflammatory. So you can add turmeric to soups, to smoothies, to roasted veggies. It does change the flavor a little bit if you put too much, or you can put it in a capsule. Now, a lot of people say, well, I tried turmeric and it didn't help. Some people require up to 4,000 to 5,000 milligrams a day. So if you've been taking like one tiny little capsule, then it might be the amount that needs to change there. And then the 2 bits of, really I'm going to go with 3. So this is going to be, I think, 17 tips. The 3 bits of lifestyle is number 1, brushing your skin, right? Your skin is a huge detoxification organ. So when it gets backed up, so is your liver. So if you're noticing that you are having skin issues, that is a liver issue. Okay. So brushing your skin can help remove toxins and keep your skin healthy and bright. It helps your liver to flush those toxins out through your lymph system. And it can also, in general, just help your skin look better. And then the last one you've probably heard me talk about before, but it's a castor oil pack. It's a very traditional remedy. It is perfect for our modern world because it's easy. I like to put mine on at night when I do it, but it helps to open the detoxification pathways, and it's very, very relaxing. All you do is rub castor oil over your liver area. You can add lemon essential oil to that as well. Cover it with a cloth and then relax for 20 to 30 minutes. I like to leave mine on overnight. It really is an amazing, amazing treatment. And then the last one, our liver energetically stores anger. So if you have built up anger, then you can do exercises. Go back and listen to the Energy Medicine Mondays where I talk about releasing anger. You can do those exercises to release that anger and let the liver function return. We do know that emotions, energy in motion, actually makes physical changes in our body. So you can do these exercises to simply release anger and return that liver to being able to function on its own. That's it. Those are, I think, 17 tips for the liver. So if you have any questions, as always, don't hesitate to reach out. I can't wait to talk to you on the Ask Audrey episode on Friday. As always, I am rooting for you, friends. See you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Root Cause Revolution podcast. Be sure and subscribe on your favorite podcast provider. Ratings and reviews are always appreciated.